Hey everyone, I'm back, and now I'm going to talk about Awakening. Now, Awakening is the five-part pilot movie of Gargoyles, of Disney's Gargoyles, which was released in 1994 on the Disney Afternoon. Now, most of you that have watched it, and I know there's a lot of Gargoyle fans out there that go to the Gathering convention. Gargoyles was one of Disney's most popular series of all time. In fact, just recently, in the past couple of years, a comic book has been reissued or been made that continues off of where season 2 ended. Now, as far as Awakening goes, for many of you that have watched it, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you that are new to it, that have already seen it, some of you that have watched it for many years, continue to watch it, you know exactly what happens. But for those that don't, let me kind of give you a quick review. It starts out in the year, it's basically an origin story. It starts out in the year 994 AD. What happens is that the Gargoyles and the humans are betrayed by the captain to the Vikings. So what happens is the Gargoyles have to basically try to get revenge on the Vikings and the captain for what he did. Instead, what happens is the Magus ends up turning for the Gargoyles. Actually, I think it's four of them, into stone, with the exception of Goliath, because the Magus feels as though the princess has been killed by the lead Viking and the captain. However, he is unaware of this, as the princess is rescued by Goliath at the same time that the captain and the lead Viking, Hakon, fall off a cliff and are killed. Now, after an understanding is made between the three, Goliath basically requested the princess to watch over the eggs, take care of them, take them to a place safe where they can hatch and grow, and asked the Magus to cast the same spell he cast on the other Gargoyles on him, so that when the time was right, he can reawaken with the rest of them. And that's exactly what happens 1,000 years later, thanks to David Xanatos. Now, David Xanatos ends up becoming the main villain, or at least one of them, in this pilot movie, because we find out that Xanatos is actually, didn't just break the spell just to see if the spell would work, or if it was just a legend or something like that. But he did it because he's actually using the Gargoyles to see if they will be obedient, and perhaps try to learn more from them, so he can bring online his own gargoyle robots. Now, the way he does this is he's actually testing them, and by testing them, he's using them. And Goliath finds this out thanks to another human he befriends called Elisa Matha, who is a detective with the New York police. Now, Elisa ends up becoming a better ally and gives the Gargoyles and Goliath a better understanding of the new world they're in. Now, at the same time, Xanatos also reveals that he has found, seemingly at the same time, in a similar fashion that he found the Gargoyles, Goliath's second in command, Demona. However, Goliath for a short time is deceived by a false story that Xanatos, like I said, found her the same way, broke the spell the same way, because she asked for that same spell to be done to her, but which isn't true, as we all know that watch the series. And instead, what happens is, overall, basically to make a long story short, overall, what is revealed is that not only is Xanatos using the Gargoyles as test subjects to kind of see if they're obedient and help bring his other his Goliath-like robots online, but we also find out in the long run that what happened 1,000 years before was actually all part of a deal and a plan that Demona had made with the captain and the head Viking. The deal was to basically drive the humans away so that they can have the castle, so that the Gargoyles can have the castle all to themselves. However, being blinded by her hatred of them, she doesn't realize what Goliath is saying. Saying to her is that everything that's happened that shouldn't have happened was because of her. And so basically what occurs, and again to make a long story short, a final battle is ensued between Xanatos, Demona, the robots, and the Gargoyles. Xanatos is defeated, the robots are destroyed, Demona, in a struggle, falls off the castle Also, along with Elisa. Elisa, however, is rescued by Goliath, and Demona is left falling to what supposedly is her death, but we know otherwise it isn't. And the Gargoyles end up reclaiming the home castle without Xanatos being there. However, Xanatos is only sent to jail for about half a year. Here, and the only human associated with Xanatos that's there is Owen. But overall, Awakening is a very, very good story, very good pilot movie, one of the best 5-part animated miniseries pilots out there, and it, altogether a pilot movie, period, especially for an animated series. So if you need to watch an introduction to a new series, if you're getting new to Gargoyles, if you haven't seen the pilot, I suggest you go online, go on a forum that can allow you to download them, to either go to the video channels like this one, watch it, and I guarantee you'll enjoy it. And I did find out that altogether, all 5 parts, without any cuts or anything, is over 100 minutes long. It's one movie, 100 minutes long. But and that's really all I can say about Awakening of the Gargoyles pilot movie miniseries, and about King Inkthorn. However, I do want to hit you with a little bit of trivia here, though. Hit you with a little bit of trivia. Did you know that when Awakening, the Gargoyles movie, came out, or Heroes Awakening, as it's known when it's aired in syndication, and it's still aired in syndication at times as well, as a movie on Saturday mornings and Saturday afternoons and Sunday afternoons. Did you know that the week before it aired, that in selected cities all over the country, the movie was shown in its entirety in the theaters? That's right. For one night only, in selected theaters around the country, in selected cities, it was aired in the theaters. It was shown in the theaters. Yeah, it's true. Because I remember I was living in Oskaloosa, Kansas, back in '94, and I clearly remember KSMO TV running a sort of a sweepstakes, a sort of a contest, to where if you won it, if you were one of the people that won this contest, you would win tickets to see a showing, a one-night only showing of Awakening, of the Gargoyles Awakening movie in theaters. Now, I don't know if that's ever happened in anybody else's hometowns, but I can probably understand right now that it's happened in a lot of selective theaters. It probably did. And did you know also, and this is as far as King Inkthorn goes, the King Inkthorn series finale, if you look at part 1 of that, you might notice that the animation is similar to that used in the Sword in the Stone and in Robin Hood and all the other Disney animated features of the past, in the 70s and 60s and 50s. Similar to it in many ways. But that's all I can really say about Awakening and King Inkthorn, the pilot movie for Gargoyles and the finale for Gummy Bears. You got any questions, any comments, any more information that I haven't already told you about, just let me know. And I'll talk to you all later. God bless, have a good night, and take care. And I hope I didn't ramble or make no nonsense or anything like that. Make no sense anyway. But anyway, take care, and God bless.